2.7 is about story problems, like recognizing relevant information. But we're going to do 2.3 first. So I didn't make a PowerPoint for this one just because it's pretty short. So I'm just going to use the book and then do 2.7, and then I'll give you guys time to do both the homeworks. So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about converting dollars to cents. We will also write cents as dollars. I said that money is based on the number 100. There are 100 pennies in $1. And I said that cents are parts of dollars. So we have 100 pennies that make up a whole dollar, and cents are part of the dollar. We write $1 as 1.00. We write an amount less than $1 in the tenths and hundredths place. If I have 5 cents, I can write this as 0.05. I use a dollar sign because a cent is part of a dollar. We would write 45 cents as $0.45. Notice that when the dollar sign is used, there are always 2 places after the decimal point. $1.45 would be written as $1.45. I could write this amount with a cent sign. This would be written as 145 cents. That means that there are 145 pennies in $1.45. Now let's look at a few examples. So $21.62 would be 2,162 cents. $5 would be 500 cents. 45 cents we write as 45 cents, and 2 cents we write as 2 cents. So that's converting dollars to cents. All you're going to do is move the decimal place over 2 spots. So right here, it's in between the 1 and the 6. You're going to move it behind this last 2, and then that's 2,162 cents. Okay, and then last page. When I write 29 cents, the 9 is in the ones place. There are 2 tens and 9 ones in 29. We know that the decimal point is always after the ones place. 29 cents does not show the decimal place. It is implied, which means we know it's there, we just don't write it. So to show 29 cents using the dollar sign, the decimal point moves 2 places to the left. So we take it from right here and we move it there, and then we add the dollar sign, and that shows it as 29 cents with the dollar sign. So all we've done is move the decimal point either right or left 2 places. So now this is the homework. It's going to be write the following dollars as cents. So $5.67. All you're going to do is move the decimal place 2 spots. So you're going to move it behind the 7. And then your new answer, I don't want to write in the book because I use it for every class, would be 567 cents. Does that make sense, or does anyone need another example? Okay, and then for 6 cents, all we're going to do is we're going to take the decimal point that's right here, and we're going to move it 2 places. So 1, 2. So then your answer is 0.06 to make your cents into dollars. Technically, there's a dollar sign. Okay. Now I'm going to do lesson 2.7. Let me turn off that camera. Okay, recognizing relevant information. So recognizing means to see. Relevant means information, or relevant means like necessary or needed for the story problem. So we're solving recognizing relevant information. So all this chapter lesson is looking at a story problem and identifying what information you'll need to solve it. So finding the information you need to answer the story problem. We're not solving it, we're just finding the information we need. So in this lesson, you'll practice choosing the information you need to solve the word problems. Relevant information includes numbers and other information needed to find the answers. Many word problems have extra information in them that is not needed to solve the problem. So they have like sometimes an extra sentence or two in them that you don't really need to know that information in order to solve the problem. So we're just going to look at the story problems and figure out what information we do need. So example 1. At Harvest Foods, Jose bought milk for $2.89, bread for $1.90, and shampoo for $1.89. How much did he spend on food items? So this question is wanting to know how much he spent on food items. So I can look back here and see he bought milk, which is a food item, bread, which is a food item, and shampoo, which is a food item. So I don't need the information that isn't about food. So since the shampoo is not food, I don't need that information. So what I do need is the price of the milk and the price of the bread to solve the problem. So that's all we're doing in this lesson is looking at it and figuring out what we need to solve the problem. So in your homework, what you would do is you're going to highlight the information you need to solve the problem. So example 2, Liz bought a skirt on sale yesterday. It was blue with flowers on it. She paid $14.99 for the skirt. She also bought a blouse to go with it. The blouse was only $8.99. She already had some shoes. She paid $25 for the shoes several months ago. How much did she spend yesterday? So to answer the question, you have to decide what she bought yesterday. So what did she buy yesterday? Type it in the chat for me. A skirt, yes. And she also bought one other thing. What was it? A blouse. Good job, Riley. Yes. So yesterday she bought a skirt and a blouse. You only need to know how much these two items cost. The other information about the shoes isn't relevant to this story problem. It's not needed. It's just extra information they're putting in there. So you only need to know the price of the skirt and the price of the blouse. So does this make sense to everyone? I'm going to do 2 more examples, but are you guys kind of getting it? Can I get yeses in the chat if you're kind of understanding? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. So, oops, this shouldn't say Liz. It just should say 2. Okay, so I'm getting several yeses. So I'm going to do 2 more examples, and then we're going to do the homework. So this one, to earn some extra money, Ryan plans to paint the gas station building this weekend. He bought 3 brushes and 4 drop cloths for $17.98. He also bought 10 gallons of semi-gloss paint. The paint was $12.95 for each gallon. The owner of the building will reimburse Ryan for the paint. How much does Ryan charge the owner for the paint? So this question, you need to know 2 things. How much the paint costs for each gallon and how many gallons were bought. Extra information is given, such as the brushes and drop cloths he bought. You don't need that information. So all it's wanting to know is how much does Ryan charge the owner for the paint? So we just need to know the information about how much paint he bought and how much it cost. So in my homework, what you guys are going to do is you're going to come into the text and you're going to highlight the words you do need for these problems. So you can use any color to highlight. And what you'll do is you'll highlight the things needed to solve the problem. And that's all. That's all you're doing for the homework today. No math, you're just highlighting. So you just have to be able to read it and understand what you need to solve the question. Okay, so next we have example 4. I'm going to let you guys try that one on your own. Where did it? Oh, maybe there was only 3 examples. Oh, there was. Okay. So there was only 3 examples. So now I'm going to go into the homework. 2.7. Hold on, sorry. Sorry. Okay, so you guys are each going to get a Google slide for this assignment, your own set of Google slides. So it says instructions, read the story problem and use the highlighter button to highlight the information needed to solve the story. Do not solve the problems. So what I did, because I think it would be easier sometimes, because I know that it's annoying to read everything, is I put in this little speaker next to every paragraph. And then if you just click the speaker and then the play button, it will play me reading the story problem to you. So if reading isn't your strong suit, I will read the story problem to you. And then you just have to highlight what you think the information needed to solve the story problem is. So right here, highlight the information you will need to solve the story problem. So I'm going to show you guys how to highlight really quick. So what you'll do is you'll click on the words and it'll bring up this toolbar at the top. And then you'll come over here to the letters B-I-U-A, and then there's a pen next to them. And then you'll hold down and highlight the words that you think are needed. And then you'll use the highlight, and then you can pick any color. I'm just going to use yellow. And then it highlights the information you think you need to solve the story problem. So some of them you might have to highlight 2 things. Some of them you might have to highlight 1 thing. But that's all you're doing for the homework today is highlighting the information you need to solve the problem. So we'll do number 1, or this first one together. Let me go in and assign this in Google Classroom for you guys. Assign. And then there's also assignment 2.3. Oh, this computer is slow. Sorry, guys. I'm using a different laptop than I normally use, and so it's being really slow. So I am sorry. There we go. So if you go into Google Classroom, assignment 2.7 is available for you to open up, and you can follow along with me as I do this first story problem. So in 1993, the WorkKeys system identified 25 entry-level jobs. The skills needed to perform these jobs were recorded. The levels of ability range from 1 to 7 for different skills. In 1998, 2,890 jobs had been studied and were in the WorkKeys system. how many jobs were in the work keys system in 1998? So what, if you know the answer, what do you think I'm going to highlight? Type it in the chat. Okay, so it says how many jobs were in the work keys system in 1998? So I'm going to go into my story problem and see where it talks about 1998. So if I come to this last sentence, it says in 1998, 2,890 jobs had been studied and were in the system. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to highlight 2,980 jobs. And then all this other stuff, it says in 1993, the work keys system. So in this first, everything up until where it says in 1998 is talking about 1993. And the question just wants to know in 1998. So I highlighted what I needed and that's all. And now you can move on to the next problem. So they're simple. They're just highlighting information. So I'm going to stop the recording now.